Alright, so this is my first video blog. I figured that on real wordy subjects that I would do this right here instead of writing to save everybody a little bit of time. But today there's been something on my mind. I was just kind of thinking like always. But really had one subject that kept sticking out in my mind that I wanted to talk about, and I knew that if I started writing it down that it would just turn into this really huge blog, and I figured that people wouldn't really read it that much, so I figured I'd give this a shot. But what I want to talk about is how, and FYI, before you even get any further than the 45 seconds I've already been going, this is going to have God references. So if that's something you're not into, not interested in, don't really want to hear, that red thing, top right corner, click on it. But pretty much my whole life, I've done nothing but really shown anger and resentment towards God. I would sit around and ask Him for things, things that I wanted, stuff like that. And it'd be things that I wouldn't get, and I would be angry over it. I would really be angry with Him. And pretty much I started really thinking. At the time I wasn't religious. I'm just recently starting to get into the whole religion thing. But now looking back at it, I'm asking myself, I think it's okay to talk to God at any point. At any point in life, I don't care who you are. I think it's okay. But looking back at it, who was I to get angry? I didn't know God. Much less I didn't know His Son. So I'm sitting there getting angry at a God I did not believe in. So, it just kind of seems backwards to me. But we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of wanting the best of everything. I kind of started realizing that if we constantly want and we're getting it, we're never going to be satisfied. We're always going to want something that's bigger and better than what we already have. When does it stop? I think the things that we do have it's meant to be given to us so we can appreciate what we do have. If good things happen to us all the time, and we wouldn't appreciate it as much. We have to have hurt in order for us to appreciate the good, and that's kind of starting to get obvious to me. And some people that might just be it's just common sense. It's not religion talking, but I really believe that me going on the path that I'm going on now is really kind of turned my train of thought on that. But it brings me to another topic of everybody wants a blessing. I want blessings. I'm not gonna lie. I want to be blessed. I want good things to happen, and we all do. It's just in our nature. We all want a blessing, but I think we kind of have a twisted view of what a blessing is. Used to I would look at a blessing and I would be like, hey, it's just something good that happens to you. Can't be anything bad. It's all good. You find $50 on the ground. That's, hey, I got $50. That's great. That's my blessing. But I'm really starting to think a little bit different on that. I think we kind of have that twisted up a little bit as far as thinking that a blessing is always something great that happens right then. I don't think many people look at it as bad things that we go through. It kind of leads us to a greater outcome than what we had before. I think we look at the bad things as really a curse, and at the time, you can't be blamed for it. You're going through something. If you've read my very first blog, it was the defining moment in my life. It talked about how I got to the point where I was wanting to take my own life, where I was just burnt out, emotionally, physically, just completely burnt out. But looking back on it now, I know everybody says that they're glad for going through the things that they did because it made them who they are. But I can really and truly say that going through all that, it made me stronger. It made me a better person. And the outcome of it was really amazing. At the time, I really didn't see how anything good could come from it. I'm sitting there talking about killing myself. How can anything good come of this if I don't go through with it? But looking back at it now, it led me to a path where I found literally the love of my life. I'm engaged now. I'm going to get married in November. I'm in church now. I'm just surrendering myself to Christ. I am going to be baptized on Sunday. I'm glad that it happened. If it never happened, I would not be on the path that I'm on now. And I think that just kind of says that maybe the things that we view as a curse leads to the greatest blessing that we could ever have. So if I could say anything now, it's not necessarily be happy that you're going through a bad time. That's not what I'm saying at all. We're going to be upset. Things happen. It makes us upset. But maybe what we should do is whenever something we're going through, something bad happens that we're going through, just kind of look at it as, hit it head on. Don't stop. Just go into it. You never know what's going to happen. It could be the greatest thing that ever happened to you. And, I'm personally, I feel like I'm changing. And, a lot of people are just going to shake their head and not really agree with what I'm saying. They can just say, hey, you're just growing up. In a way, I think that is true. But at the same time, I believe what I went through was a divine intervention. I really and truly believe it. I think that the things that happened were things that were meant to happen to put me on the path that I'm on now. I didn't write this in my last blog, but I was literally sitting in my computer chair with a bottle of 100 sleeping pills right beside me. I was about to take every single one of them. But just out of nowhere, just something clicks. And it just can't be explained. You can't explain stuff like that. You can only experience it. And out of everything that's happened, there's not one thing, looking back at it now, there's not one thing that I can say I wish it was different. And that's all that I'm trying to say through this, is to try to keep a good attitude. Something bad's happening, and I'm going to go through bad things. Everybody's going to go through bad things. And honestly, something bad my phone could go off right this second with some bad news, something like that. But there's going to be things that are going to be designed to literally rock our foundation. It's going to make us question our faith. It's going to make us question if there is hope. But I think that there's testimonies all throughout the world that just says that there is hope. And I think that as just humanity in general, we have to learn to accept the bad things as we do the good things. It's not easy by any means at all. It's really, really hard. But at the same time, through hardships, we learn to appreciate the great things that come. But this was a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, around 9 minutes. But it probably would have took me around 45 minutes to type everything up, and probably longer than that for you to read it. But I thank you for watching this. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to do, but I guess we'll see based on the reaction that I get from this. I do appreciate all the not emails, who does email nowadays, but I do appreciate all the messages that I'm getting on Facebook. They really and truly mean a lot. They really do. I'm getting a ton of friend requests. I appreciate that just as much, and that just means that everything that I'm writing is getting looked at. And when it's all said and done, all I want to do is touch somebody's life. That's what this is all about. I hope that maybe one thing that I say, I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but at the end of the day, I hope that what I can say can inspire somebody. I'm not saying I'm the most inspirational person on this planet, but I think we have to start somewhere, and I think this right here is just a good way for me to start. I'm writing, which is probably one of my biggest passions, is writing. Got away from it for a while, but starting to get back into it. And I really think that right now is the route that I'm meant to go. I want to change the world. There's I say that in every single blog that I do, and I'm going to say it right now. I want to change the world. And I think that we have to take that one step at a time, but I think it just takes the consistency and the inspiration to do it. And I think that this right here is my way to maybe start the inspiration. So thank you everybody for reading my stuff. Thank you for watching this. You've spent over 10 minutes with me. So if you've gotten to the end of this, thanks. And that's going to do it for right now, but we'll see you next time.